BWOne here from BWOne, and in this video we're going to give you a great versus, and the verses are going to be between the 3DS family, and that family includes the 3DS, 3DS XL, and the 2DS. Welcome to the 3DS Mafia. Now, the Nintendo 3DS is pretty much grown in family, so it's worth doing a sort of comparison and contrast between them to see which one is the best 3DS for you and which one I personally like for my own 3DS gaming. We have unboxings of each one of these, so definitely check that out on our YouTube channel and at BWOne.com. But this video is going to serve as our formal review of all three of these devices. Let's start off here with the original, the Nintendo 3DS. Or the OG 3D, as I like to call it. So this basically sort of changed the game in terms of portable gaming, when it was the first console to basically have 3D gaming in a portable aspect. So it definitely sort of stepped it up here. It does come here with a 3.5-inch 3D display, and it's got a little slider here on the side which allows you to control the sort of the intensity of the 3D. If you want it all the way up, you want it all the way down, and which basically will turn it off, or you can have a little happy medium there depending on how you want it. So that's pretty cool. It does come with two stereo speakers here on the side. You do have your analog sort of pad right here. You have your D-pad. You have your YXAB buttons. Here on the side, you do have the select, home, and start buttons right here. With a little bit of raise to them, not too much. It sort of feels like all one piece with a little bit of raise that you almost barely don't feel. You have the power button right here, 3.5mm headphone jack, along with some LED indicator for power and charging. You have your wireless charging here, wireless switch here on the side. Go ahead and close it here. So here in the back, you have your charging port and a couple of pins, because it does come with sort of a little charging station stand that you can plug it into, and you can just kind of slide it in to charge as well too. That's why it has a little middle there on the side. You have your cartridge, game cartridge slot right here, and it supports Nintendo 3DS games and original Nintendo DS games as well too. And it has the stylus right here with that's each contractable. In one of the worst spots, I think they can have the stylus. A lot of you guys got a kick out of the original versus video that we did when I had the problems sticking the stylus this way instead of putting it here at the top. It's just an odd placement that they definitely changed around in the next versions of the 3DS family here. I just really don't like that choice there. It was really silly. Here at the back, you have your L&R, which also can take pictures as well too with the camera. Speaking of that, right here you do have two outward cameras and one inner camera here. Now these two cameras here shoot 3D pictures and also allow you to use the AR cards for augmented reality as well too. Check out our video on that we have on the channel for the augmented reality with the cards, so you can see sort of how cool that works and how it works with the cameras here on the back. But you can take 3D pictures as well too, which are also stored here on the side next to the volume slider here in the micro SD card, which it comes with 2 GB, but you can also add up to whatever amount of storage that you can afford to put it here on the side for more pictures and content storage. All right. Take a look. We can flip it up here, and you can see it's definitely a fingerprint magnet, as you can see right there. It does feel sturdy, but it has more of a plastic build to it, so it doesn't feel that premium feel that you sort of want it to feel. And like I said, fingerprint magnet for whatever, anything, you know, you'll have to probably wipe it off a lot if you want to keep it having a clean look. But it was a nice device. The battery life was not the greatest. Definitely playing 3DS games 3 to 5 hours. It isn't that it doesn't have that battery life that we're so used to with the original DS line, which you could put it to sleep and it just had awesome battery life on it, and you would wake up 2 days later and you still have plenty to charge. With this, it's definitely not gonna get anywhere close to that, unfortunately. And you do have a snappable hinge, as you can see. You can hear the hinge there before it goes back, so it goes in one place there, and then you close it. Show it one more time. You can hear it snap there, and then it can go all the way back there like that. So that's the Nintendo 3DS. This usually goes for about $169. I've seen from $149 to $180 in between there, depending on what bundles and packages that you get with it and where you buy it from. Now let's start off here with the Nintendo 2DS, the Nintendo 3DS XL. We'll get to the 2DS in a minute, but the 3DS XL is the next one. The big boy here that came out not too long after. This goes for about $199 or so and comes in different bundles as well too. I know they have a Legend of Zelda bundle that includes the new game, and along with sort of a gold packaging around it as well too, and it has like a little Triforce logo. This is pretty cool. But this came out roughly about a year after the original Nintendo 3DS XL. Obviously that means big bigger screens, bigger size overall. As you can see here, it weighs a little bit more obviously than the original 3DS that you have here. And you can see the size differences between them. You know, it's basically could fit this entire 3DS in the 3DS XL, but this is really meant for those that really like that big screen gaming, especially for people that really like the DSi XL, which was my favorite DS in the original DS line was the DSi XL. So this is for those that are looking to upgrade to that. Now we open this up here, and you can see here we have a 4.8-inch 3D display that also allows you to control sort of the depth of the 3D, how strong it is, just on the side. And you have your analog pad here, and you have your D-pad, YXAB, and now you can see they kind of have individual buttons for select, home, and start, which actually are a lot easier to press down. You can see that the power button, it has more, it's plastic, but it has more of a matte finish to it, which feels a little bit better and less of a fingerprint magnet. You can close it here. They've moved the 3.5mm headphone jack here to the side from the center. You can see right there the differences. You can also see that they put these a little bit closer, your power indicators. There's a hand strap slot there. Now on one side you have your wireless, you have your SD card here, which I believe the 3DS, XL comes with a 4GB card. And obviously you can expand that storage as you want to. Let me go ahead and close that there. You have the stylus here on the side. Thank God, this is where it belongs. Right here on the side. And now snaps out just that easily, what we're all used to that are 3DS fan or DS fans in general. You have your wireless switch here, you have your LNR buttons here, you have your charging port, you do have the game cartridge slot right here. Same thing, it can support 3DS games and original DS games as well too. And you have your volume right here on the side. And you can see overall it's just a bigger, beefier device, and it has a 2-snap hinge, so you can here it can kind of go into 3 different places. So when you open it up, you have that 1 snap here, stays about right there. Next snap goes about there, and you can make it flat all the way back like that. So, and the battery life is roughly about the same as the other 3DSs with the 3DS here. It's not going to be the stellar stuff that we were expecting before with the original DS, but this is just pumping more powerful graphic games, and it is pumping 3D as well too, and it's not going to have that same comparison in battery life, unfortunately, there. So this is a Nintendo 3DS XL, which I really do like, and it's for those that want that sort of that bigger screen. And down here at the bottom, I don't know if I mentioned this is a 4-inch display here that's touchscreen as well. So this is a 4-inch display, and that's 4.8-inch here at the top, compared to the original DS, which has a 3.5-inch top and a 3-inch bottom here. That's a touchscreen. Put those to the side, and we'll jump on to the new kid on the block, which is the Nintendo 2DS. And the 2DS is pretty much aimed at sort of entry-level gamers and kids. You can sort of tell by the design and sort of the build quality. It's definitely more on sort of the kid-friendly. It kind of looks like something Lego would make almost with it, and it's got a different sort of style to it. Now, they didn't skimp too much on a lot of things, but you're gonna notice some differences with it. On the 2DS, there's only 1 speaker here on the side instead of stereo speakers with it. It also has the same screen size as the original 3DS, so it has 3.5 at the top and then 3-inch at the touchscreen here at the bottom. You have 1 large home button here at the bottom, and then your start and select are actually physical buttons here on the side. Right here at the top is your YX, A, and B power button here. And you notice this doesn't have a hinge, so how do you put it in sleep mode? You'll put that by using the switch right here that'll actually put it to sleep for you, just like that. And you can swipe it just there. And you can see 3.5mm headphone jack is all the way here in the corner. You have the volume here. You should have the, let me see one more thing. Yep, you have the SD card slot here, which I believe this even actually comes with a 4GB card. You can see they actually all have different brands. We went from, you know, sort of Lexar, Samsung, and I think that one was I'm not even sure which one that was. It was a generic one maybe. Then you can see they all have different SD cards in them, but you get 4GB here with this. Stylus once again here on the side where it belongs, in a great place, so you can just pop it right in just like that. You have your game cartridge slot here at the top. Now it supports 3DS games and 2DS games, but it doesn't have 3D, which is the difference between the 2DS and the 3DS line, is that it doesn't have the 3D capabilities, but it can play those games, so you still get those higher graphical games with it. You have your charging port here at the top. You have your L&R buttons, which are a lot bigger here on the sides here. And then one thing you notice, there isn't a sort of a wireless switches either. There isn't a way to sort of flip the wireless on or off here on this one. And you can see it's skinny here at the bottom, and this sort of gets bigger at the top. But this really is meant for sort of kids' hands, so my hands are pretty big here with this. And when playing with this, I definitely felt a little bit more, it was a little cramped for me, and I have large hands. So this is really meant for somebody for smaller hands here. You still have the cameras here, which is the front camera here, and you have the 2 cameras here in the back, which are 3D. You're not going to be able to see the 3D pictures here on the screen, but you're going to at least be able to do, you know, the AR or augmented reality stuff if you want to do that. So those do come, those 2 cameras will be able to do that for you here. All right, you can see here the build quality differences. Battery life is essentially the same as the other ones. It's not that, you know, like I said, I keep harping on that. It isn't the DS's battery life, which we got really used to. This is packing more power. This is it's not gonna give you that 2-3 extra days on standby. This is really gonna be about a day and a half to 2 days maybe before you need to charge with it. So I just want to make sure you guys are sort of aware of that. All right, so we have did a hard comparison of all 3. So let's go ahead and turn it on in terms of software, which they all pretty much have the same thing. Let's see if I can get them all on at the same time. Let's see if I can do this. All right, let's see. They'll all load up at the same time. They're pretty awesome. Ooh. Oh, there we are. Oh well, I didn't get them all up at the same time, but you can see all the ones here, and you can see you can kind of blow on them as I am. I think I'm getting at them like that, and it'll spin around and kind of sort of recognize it there. They all have pretty much the same exact software. There really isn't too much of a difference between them in terms of that. The menu system essentially works the same with touchscreen here at the bottom, and sort of these boxes that they have with it. Same thing as well here. The menu system with the boxes, they both have access to the Nintendo eShop as well too, so you can get more games and more software you can download with it. It has virtual console support on each one of these as well too. So like I said, get your old school gaming on. You can see I have a ton of games that I downloaded on here with mine, and they do support 3DS system transfer, so you can transfer from, if you decide to upgrade from the 3DS to the 3DS XL, or maybe you want the 2DS XL if you don't care about the 3D so much, but you like sort of the form factor, you can transfer between the 3 of them using that 3DS transfer software, and it'll allow you to go between the 2. So that can, and indeed does work, and I believe we have a video on how 3DS system transfer works, so definitely check that out. All right, so now we have them all powered up here. You can see the interfaces pretty much look the same. They're all the same sort of sensors and motion sensors and pretty much same capabilities outside of the 3D missing on this one here. So what we're gonna do next is we're actually gonna load up some games, so you're gonna be able to see how each one loads up and looks in terms of a 3DS game, and then we're actually gonna load up a 2DS game as well for each one, so you can sort of see the differences between them to see which one, you know, maybe you want in terms of sort of graphical power. So let's start off with the Nintendo 3DS. Okay, let's start off our gaming here with the Nintendo 3DS. So we already have a game in here, latest game. Legend of Zelda, Link Between Worlds. And we're going to use that as our 3DS game example for the other 2 as well too. And each time you get a 3DS game, and when you load it up here, it's going to have the little sort of intro chime to it. And we're going to go ahead and load it up and see what the graphics look like here on the Nintendo 3DS. And sort of the gaming looks in general. Wait here for it to load up. All right, you get a little fairy. And I'm actually gonna probably slide down the 3D slider here because it really, I can turn it on, but you really can't, you can't see it in the screen, obviously. Let's slide it down here so you can see the screen a little bit better, because you obviously can't see 3D through the screen. So let's go ahead and slide the audio down here, and you can sort of see the gaming and the graphics. Go ahead and A here. So I have a game already started on here, so hopefully I'm not spoiling it for you. Well, I should probably have a review of Legend of Zelda. I probably will end up reviewing this game at some point. So you can see some of the graphical and sort of how it plays. I'm here in the dark world, or low rule rather. Not the dark world. Nice, swipe around. So you can see sort of the graphics here with it. Like I said, you can change the 3D aspect. You turn all the way up, slide all the way down, have a little happy medium there. And it's just a quick showing of sort of how the games look here on the 3DS, and obviously different games are going to look different depending on the graphics and who makes the game, of course, here. So that's a 3DS game. So let's actually switch up and use a 2DS game now. Excuse me, Nintendo DS game rather. All right, now we have a Nintendo DS game. I keep calling it 2DS, even though truthfully it is a 2D game versus a 3D game here. But this is Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Keep using the Zelda games here. So we're gonna take a look at Phantom Hourglass with Toon Link and see how that game looks here on the 3DS. You see it sort of squares off there. It doesn't have the widescreen format. Wait for this to load up. Bring it a little closer to the screen for you guys to see. See it come in here. It doesn't look too bad. Looks pretty good. That'll be a little distracting here with the sides there like that. You can see Link come in here. There he goes. And you touch the screen, and you have all the same game capabilities that were on the original DS as well too. Let's see, we go here. It's all touchscreen on this one. I forgot. Let me see. We'll go into the adventure. I'm not sure where I am at this game because I pretty much beat it. Okay. You can swipe at it. I haven't played this in a long time, so I don't remember the controls as much as I used to before. Alright, there you go. So this is an example of a 2DS, excuse me, DS game on the Nintendo 3DS. I'm not sure, I'm going to say that 2DS mistake quite a few more times probably in this video. But alright, let's go ahead and check out how games look on Nintendo 3DS XL. Alright, now time to look at games on a Nintendo 3DS XL. I got my 3DS game in here. So let's go ahead and load up Legend of Zelda. I'm gonna turn down the 3D for you guys here. Like I said, you can't see it through the screen anyways. So it comes in. And you can see already on the 3DS XL that you get a little bit more immersive experience with just that larger display. The game kind of jumps right at you. So let's go ahead. Go in here. Turn this down just a little bit here. It's a little loud. But you can hear a little bit of the speakers in the game. Go ahead and slash around here a little bit. Woo. How about not be bad at this game? Swipe. Gotcha. Alright, let's see there. We took a look at some of the items. You can see the touchscreen works here. And overall, my hands are big, so I obviously like the 3DS XL for that, but it's just a much more immersive experience overall versus the other ones here. Due to those that larger display, you can still swipe with the 3D, obviously, if you want to there. But let's take a look at a 3DS game. Now let's take a look at an original DS game, see how that looks on the 3DS XL. Alright, now we have our DS game here loaded. Almost hit 2DS again here. Now we have that loaded here with the Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Let's go ahead and load that game up and see how a DS game looks on a 3DS XL. Alright, you have the letterboxing here, but it's actually looks pretty good compared to the way it looked on the Nintendo 3DS, because the screen sizes, the square doesn't look massively different here. They're both 4 inches, but they're close enough in size that when the letterbox kind of comes up, it looks pretty good. And the game loaded up actually a little bit faster here on the 3DS XL than it did on the 3DS, it seems. Let's go ahead and play a game here. Let's get this is all touchscreen on this one. Let's bust out the stylus. Like that, like a boss. On the side, like a boss. There we go. Let's go ahead and do some gameplay here. You can see the games look very, very good, and like there isn't a whole lot of pixelation with them because the screens actually are pretty decent. As I kind of navigate around here, I'll just chop some grass. Alright, let me bring up the menu system. Let's see what else do we have here. Navigate around. There we go. Alright, so that's pretty cool. So you get an idea of how the games look here on the Nintendo 3DS XL. And you can see that they look pretty good. Once again, more immersive. And yeah, I would say like DS games look better on here than I would say on the 3DS, because it's just the screen size just gives it that perfect size and look. This is very close to how the DSi XL kind of looks in terms of that. So definitely good here. But let's check out games on the Nintendo 2DS, 3DS games, and original DS games. Okay, now it's time to check on the 2DS for games here. So I have a 3DS game loaded in here. Obviously, we're not going to be able to do 3D, but we get the better gaming graphics on the 2DS still. So let's go ahead and load up Legend of Zelda here and see how it looks. Same screen sizes as the original 3DS here, but you don't have the hinge. Let's see how it loads up. All the Triforce is sort of falling into place. There we go. Let's go ahead and play some gaming here. It's going to be a little awkward here. And you can see the sound is already not as good because you only have that one speaker. Now, if you plug in a pair of headphones, you're obviously going to get stereo sound with that. But you can hear the sound quality sort of downgraded versus the other two by this only having one speaker versus the others having two. You see the game still look pretty good. Still has that graphical power with it. Do a little bit of running here. Button placement's a little awkward at times because I'm not really used to these being as big as they are. But like I said, they're meant for a kid, of course, and sort of everything sort of being here at the top versus being here at the bottom as you're used to on the other 3DS or other DSs in general. This is the only DS really that has this sort of slab style to it. You still have your stylus as well too here on the side. We'll actually busted the stylus when we use the DS games. Alright, so you guys get the idea there. So let's go ahead and jump to the DS game here on the 2DS. Alright, let's check out a DS game on the 2DS. Time for some Legend of Zelda, which we've used as an example in all three of these videos here. So let's see how this loads up. Alright. You still have the split screen there, but see, without the hinge, it still looks a little bit better actually, and not as jarringly different as it was with the 3DS. Let's go right in here. Let's bust out the stylus. One of my favorite themes in the Zelda series is that, just the fairy theme. Yeah, right. Alright, let's move around the games here. Whoop, jumping in the water. Probably shouldn't have did that. Collect some rupees. Let's get that chicken. Get him, get him. You mad, bro? Oh, wow. Ah. Oh, they coming out. Alright, so we have some fun there with the Nintendo 2DS here with the stylus. So you can see that how the games look here. And these look actually pretty good. Having the same screen size, but I think without that hinge, it just looks a little bit better. And in terms of playing those old DS games, the screen sizes sort of match up just a little bit better. It seems like the hinge gets a little bit away out of 3DS from what I can tell here. So we've done all three of the systems here from 3DS and regular DS games. So sort of wrap up our review here and see which DS is the best for you. Alright, so we've had time here to take a look at all of the 3DSs in the 3DS family here. Just giving my opinions on each one of them here. I feel that the original Nintendo 3DS is more for those that are more concerned about size and still want that hinge and don't really like the feel of the 2DS. They want that 3D capability, but they do want to keep sort of the size and have something that's sort of compact and portable to sort of slide in a pocket or slide in a purse or a bag really easily. And the 3DS XL is just too big of a device for them, and the 2DS is just a little awkward for them to hold, but they want the 3D capability. So that's where I kind of feel that the original DS sort of stands here in terms of maybe what someone will want. Let's Going into the 2DS, this is definitely for people that are on an entry level and for kids as well too. It's for those that want to give it to their kids. It's something that's going to be durable. It's can get thrown around a little bit. They don't really want their kids using 3D so much. 3D isn't really that big of a factor for you in that. You just want those better games. So that's going to allow you with that. You want something that's future proof as well, because 3DS games are going to come out a lot more than original DS games, but still have the ability to play those DS games because maybe your kid has those or he doesn't have those yet, or maybe his friends have them. It just allows you to play some other games along with it. So the 2DS is pretty good for that. And that comes out at about I believe a $129 price range or so. And it's pretty good for those that are anywhere from $99 to $129 actually currently, and it's good for those that want to save some money but want to still get their game on someone. Let's go ahead and hit home there with it. All right, and the 3DS XL, which is my favorite of the 3DS family here, is for those that want to play games. They want that sort of massive screen on it. They want the 3D. They want sort of everything that the 3DS has to offer, but they want it bigger and badder. And that's really what the 3DS XL really does offer. I really do like it overall here amongst the other ones, amongst the other two that are in the family, because it's just, I feel it's a nicer product overall. I think it's more for those power gamers out there, and I think a lot of people will like that, especially if you want to have good portable gaming and a nice immersive experience. So out of all three here, you can see that the 3DS family is built up into a pretty compelling product, a pretty compelling group of portable handhelds out here, especially in a market that's still being challenged a lot by mobile gaming. Portable gaming I still feel is a separate thing, and it's still, you want that good portable games, and the DS is where it's at. The 3DS is really the future and where it's at in terms of all that. So I would definitely recommend those two if you're looking out for one or three of these and you're looking for a new DS, or you're looking for your first portable console. These are probably the ones you want to look at here. And I would say, like I said, out of three of them, if you're worried about portability and pocketability and you still want 3D, the original 3DS is for you. If you're looking for kids entry level, that's a 2DS. If you want the best of the best in this lineup, get the 3DS XL. So this is BWOne here from BWOne. If you really like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up for it and a like. It really does help us out. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page here. Follow us on all those social networks, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Also connect with us on our main website at BWOne.com, and we'll have a write-up on this with some more information about each one of them, a little bit of comparison chart. The link to that will be in the description when that post is up and available. And always remember to live your tech world in high definition. Thanks for watching.